We brought you news yesterday of a special event currently taking place in Seoul. Now, leaders of NGOs and social enterprises from around the world are here to promote the value of working together.
And one of the special speakers at the event addressed incorporating the environment with children's education, like addressed in this book as well, right?
That's right, and we have the privilege to have that speaker here with us tonight live in the studio. Arron Wood is an Australian environmentalist and a founder of the Kids Teaching Kids program. Arron Wood, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
Now, you are the managing director of Firestarter, which is an environmental communication and education consultancy business. Now, explain what you do for those of our viewers who are not too familiar.
Yeah, look, it's been great to come to South Korea, and we've been here over the last few days with people from Afghanistan, India, Australia, all around the world. We're here for the UNESCO Education for International Understanding. And essentially what that has been about is really about using education to promote wanting to work together. And the wonderful thing about it, I think, too, was that we heard about education in many different forms. So obviously my interest is environmental education. I think the environment is so important because we can have the best economy, we can have the best society, we can have all the money in the bank, we can have these wonderful things. But if we don't have air to breathe and water to drink, then we have nothing. So it's been an amazing exchange over the last couple of days.
Okay, Arron, I like the name Firestarter. And of course, it means to start something inside, the passion to do something about going more green. We know you are active in highlighting the economic benefits of environmental protection. So speaking of green growth and all the corporate responsibilities all around, perhaps you could elaborate on that for us and, of course, for all the companies that are looking to make the necessary changes out there.
Yeah, look, it's a good point because the old way of thinking was that you had to make a decision between the environment or the economy. It was one or the other, but many of our leading businesses now are seeing that the environment is their core business. So General Electric is a huge company worldwide, and they've made sustainability core business. And in doing so, they've reduced a lot of their costs, but they've also, on the flip side, opened up huge markets in alternative energy. So GE wind and solar and those sorts of things is growing all the time. And I think, in South Korea you have many great companies, Samsung and Hyundai and companies like this. And the growth since 1970 in Korea's economy has been quite amazing. But the next decade or two will really be about seeing where does sustainability fit in that message? And I think South Korea in particular has been making some very good noises in this space, even things like greening the IT industry, $3.5 billion announced to green the IT industry. So I think South Korea is moving in the right direction.
All right, Arron, I know that another area of your interest is a program called Kids Teaching Kids. Now, why is this so important to you and what is it?
Oh, look, Kids Teaching Kids is a program that I founded with my father 13 years ago. My father was actually my elementary school principal. I spent a lot of time in his office being a naughty boy, but he now works for me, so I've had the last laugh. But Kids Teaching Kids is really important, and over those years we've had 66,000 kids right throughout Australia and through countries around the world working together. They choose a locally important environmental issue. They connect that to bigger issues like deforestation in the Amazon, but they then present a workshop to their communities and they inspire action through using their voices. So we've seen kids reduce energy, reduce waste, plant trees, work with farming communities to address water issues. So really it's about seeing young people as change agents. Yes, they are the future. They're less than 20% of our population. They are 100% of our future, but they have so much to offer right now.
Right, moving on to a different subject, we're going to focus on how you perceive Korea. We have been trying to be the leader in green growth. We are now the secretary of the Green Climate Fund, and also the focus, the hot word for Korea over the past few years has been green growth. So what's your assessment of Korea's global green initiative at the moment?
Yeah, look, I think South Korea in the Asia-Pacific region in particular has got a huge leadership role to play. Like Australia, you have the technology, you have a relatively good economy, some may say otherwise, but in terms of the global scale, a very healthy economy. And it's countries like South Korea, like Australia, like the United States, who really have to show the way for developing nations to tackle big issues like climate change. So I think South Korea has made many good announcements in this space. Not only do you have the innovation, but you have also the political clout with people like Ban Ki-moon heading up the United Nations. So I would really like to see South Korea in this next decade or two really take that leadership role and continue down that path of green jobs growth, because, you know, as I said, it isn't a decision between economics and the environment. They are one and the same.
So let me ask you this, Arron. Are there any projects related to Korea that you would like to work on?
Absolutely. We would love to see kids teaching kids spreading throughout South Korean schools. So, you know, any support that anyone is willing to provide for that, we would gladly take. And I think that if we can mobilise schools right throughout the world, that really one small action might seem insignificant, but when we multiply that by many millions of times, that's really what a sustainable future is all about. And it's an exciting future, and it's a future of electric cars, of solar-powered glass in buildings. It's a really exciting future, not one where we have to lose.
Perhaps the Sunbae Hubei environment in Korea, even among kids, might help out in that project a little bit. Well, Arron Wood's a passionate environmentalist, as you can plainly tell. Thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to having you in Korea and in the studio again next time.
Thanks so much. 감사합니다.